What is up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
We are here for our second episode of Metal Mixtape, and today we're going to be doing Iron Maiden. And this is only going to be the Bruce Dickinson era, though. We are not going to be doing the Paul Diano and Blaze Bailey era, just because I can make a whole mixtape just for a Blaze era and then just for a Paul Diano. So we might do that down the road as well, but they do only have two albums each. So that might be a little tricky. I don't know. We'll figure that out once we get there. But we are just doing the Bruce Dickinson era today, and we have 90 minutes to fill, which in the world of Iron Maiden, especially over the last 20 years, 90 minutes is not a very long time. Like we could might only be able to put 10 tracks on this CD. But guys, if you enjoy this series, let me know what bands to do in the future here. Now, the only rule is that the bands do need to have, or I need to have at least three of their albums, and the band has to have at least three studio albums as well. And because I find anything under three albums, you're starting to get too much of one album on the CD, and it's just kind of weird. It just doesn't flow well. All right, so let me know what you guys would like to see next. So without further ado, let us jump over here to the other computer and get right to it.
Jason Myers from the band Icarus Witch, and you are listening to the Krash Kourse Metal Show, featuring Trevor Krash Knight, the next generation's voice of classic heavy metal.
Alrighty, guys, we are over here in the library, and like I said before, we are only doing the Bruce Dickinson era, so we have roughly like 13 albums to go through and see what we have. So I'm just gonna throw on stuff that I absolutely love from Iron Maiden, and I will put on a mixtape so I can listen to it over and over and over again in the car or wherever I'm at, and not really get tired of it. So let's see. Here on the Iron Maiden tab, we first one that comes up here is Book of Souls, and not a good album, or yeah, basically a good album at all from Iron Maiden. If you guys want to check out my Iron Maiden album ranking, click up in the right hand corner there. I will put a link to, or a tag to, the album ranking, and you'll know exactly where Book of Souls and all the rest of the albums go. But yeah, I don't think nothing really is gonna make it on the mixtape just because we only got 90 minutes too. And with like half of Maine's discography, you're looking over 5-6 minutes a song, and there just will not be that many songs to begin with on this mixtape. So yeah. So all right, so going on here, Brave New World. Good album, but I don't know if anything is really gonna make it here. We might come back to this, but nothing really jumps out at me as far as it has to be on a mixtape. So, but now I will say Dance to Death. Not the biggest fan of the opening track Wildest Dreams, but everything else I do kind of dig. But as far as the middle mixtape goes, we will add Rainmaker. I think that's a pretty underrated song. One that I do enjoy when it comes on. So I want to throw that on here to the mixtape. All right. And the next one here, we gotta do the title track. One of my favorite title tracks of Iron Maiden. I do really like Passchendaele too, but that's 8 minutes long. I don't know. I like Journeyman and Age of Innocence as well, but just to have it on a mixtape when you only gonna probably have like 13 tracks, honestly, it's just not gonna make it with that length. All right, so Fear of the Dark. Absolutely dig this album. It's kind of like which ones aren't gonna make it. So first and foremost, Fear of the Dark's gonna make it, the title track. Weekend Warrior. I know people shit on this album, but I enjoy a lot on this album. There's not much that gets skipped at all on this. When I play it the whole way through. Weekend Warrior is just a fun song. It's kind of like their try at, kind of like a hair metal type song, and I think it's okay. I don't know if I want to put the power ballad Wasting Love on there. Fear is Key can make it. Afraid to Shoot Strangers is good. From Here to Eternity is another fun song, but I don't know. The Apparition, though, that one is a really kind of weird song, but I dig it. It's okay in certain doses. All right, so that's enough for Fear of the Dark. We can always come back to these if we need to. Satellite 15, The Final Frontier. I don't really care for this album that much, but I do think the title track is good. If we can somehow cut that intro off and make it only like a 4 minute song, I think we can work with that. So I will add that just in case. Obviously, Paul Diano era here. Cannot choose any of these. A Matter of Life and Death. Now, I bought this when it was brand new. I was like 13 or so, 14 maybe. And I only liked a couple songs off it, but as time goes on, I do enjoy it more than I did even when I was young. So I think the length of this album actually kind of works. I do kind of dig it. But just the only one that really jumps out at me to really be able to put on a playlist or a mixtape like this is Out of the Shadows. Do really dig that. And it's only 5.5 minutes, so that's kind of what we're looking for too. Not too many. I could put For the Greater Good of God. I do really enjoy that, but 9 minutes, it's like I can only really have one true epic song, I think, or maybe two epic songs on this mixtape. And For the Greater Good of God, I just don't know if that's going to be one. It's like you'd have to think here once we get to Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name is going to be one of those epic songs. And then we already chose one with Fear of the Dark. So I don't can we get any more? I don't know. Well, that's something we're gonna have to figure out. All right, so No Prayer for the Dying. We will add that title track as well. I love the slow mid tempo feel of that song. Holy Smoke's a fun song. I can dig it. So we'll add that just in case here. Bring Your Daughter to Slaughter. I know that gets a lot of shit too, but I think it's catchy. I think just really good overall. Let's see. That should be. I mean, like I said, I do enjoy Mother Russia. I do enjoy some of these songs on No Prayer for That. This is an album that did really grow on me too. Like when I first heard it, I was like, it's just okay. But over time, even the deeper cuts has gotten pretty good for me. But as far as being on a metal mixtape, I don't know if anything else will come off of this album, like say Fear of the Dark. All right, so Number of the Beast, an album that a lot of people love and is highly praised as one of the best metal albums of all time, which it is good. There ain't no doubt about it. Run to the Hills and Number of the Beast. I do not need to hear those two again. Hallowed be Thy Name now. Yes, that is a really good album closer as well. Total Eclipse. I know that's only on the CD or some kind of remaster reissue of this album, but I the reissue that I always had ever since I was a kid had Total Eclipse on it. So whenever I talk about this album, I always include Total Eclipse. So if you put Total Eclipse without, if you don't put it on the Number of the Beast album, I think that's an even less impressive of a album, Number of the Beast. So Total Eclipse has to be on there for me. The Prisoner. I always did enjoy this song even when I was a kid, when I first found this album. I just really cool. I like the intro to it, the guy talking in the jail or, some kind of, prison number or whatever. Pretty cool. Peace of Mind. This is another one. Just okay. I do like it better. I think I do like it better than Number of the Beast. But I mean, the Trooper and Flight of Icarus, I don't really need to hear those again. So I don't know if it's gonna make the metal mixtape. Great songs, nonetheless. But just the Revelations is gonna make it though. One of my favorites. One of my favorites from Iron Maiden in general. But here we go again. Almost a 7 minute song. So they're gonna be adding up here, and we just can't be adding, just like these singles that we hear all the time. So that's first and foremost. And a very important thing to me. I don't want to hear the shit that I'm going to hear on the radio or just at a regular gathering. Same thing with Power Slave. One of my least favorite Iron Maiden albums. I do not like, as you can see here, hardly any of the deep cuts. I mean, 2 minutes to midnight. If I need filler space on this mixtape, which we won't, I would go with 2 minutes to midnight if I had to choose one off this album. And I just can't put a 13-minute Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner on here. So nothing off of Power Slave for me. I know a lot of people are gonna throw shit at that. But Senjutsu, another one that's just way too long of songs, but I do really enjoy. the writing on the wall. I when I that first came out, I was like, this is like kind of a little bluesy here. So, like something a little different for me, and I actually really enjoy it. But everything else, man, I mean, as time goes on, the Book of Souls is getting worse as time goes on, but Senjutsu is getting better for me as time goes on. So the last two albums are going opposite ways for me here. But as far as mixtape goes, no. Only writing on the wall is going to come off that. Seven Son of the Seven Son, really, really good stuff here. Infinite Dreams, always love that like first 2 minutes, just that bass and drum pocket right there. Really, really good stuff. Moonchild, really good, a really good opener. So I mean, I if I can't use this as my mixtape opener, it probably wouldn't make it. But it's still a really strong song there nonetheless. Evil That Men Do, really, really good. Can I Play With Madness is really good, but that's one that you're starting to hear a lot, like on Metal Mania or like the MTV Flash or whatever, the MTV Classic and shit like that. So I'm starting to get wore out of that song. Seven Son of a Seven Son, really good. But here we go again, another 10-minute song. We just can't be putting. Christ, we would only have 9 songs if we put all these epics on this Metal Mixtape. Somewhere at a time, good album. But as far as putting stuff on here, Strange Over Strangeland, I will put on here because that is one of my favorite top 5, top 3, maybe even Iron Maiden songs. Always has been. Love that bass in there. But nothing else. I mean, Alexander the Great is another one of my favorite epics from Iron Maiden. But here we go. 8 minutes. It just does not. I can't put all of these album closers and epic songs on here. And then we got the final 2 blazes. So let us just see where we are at with time if we have to go back through and add anything. So mixtape. Hour and 46 minutes. So here you go, guys. We are 16 minutes over already and only have 18 songs. So we're going to have to be putting this down to 15 songs more than likely. So let me go put this in the right order because the flow of the mixtape or just an album in general has to be good, has to be perfect for me because if I just burn the CD like this and listen to it, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like it would almost ruin the experience for me. So I'll be back here in a minute and I will give you the final offering here and what did make it and what didn't make it. Alrighty, guys. So we are back here. I got everything pretty much in order of what I want here. Everything has pretty good flow to it, but we are still 7 minutes over 90 minutes. So I think the only song that didn't really fit and I just kept pushing it to the end here. And I know I might regret this because I thought about, well, I'm gonna have to take Dance of Death off, which I love that song, but it's just not fitting here. Although I could have took off Moonchild and Holy Smoke or a combination of this Prisoner and Holy Smoke maybe. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that because Moonchild's a really good intro track to really just kick things off. I think I'm just gonna go with Dance of Death, make it simple here, just get rid of it. Although I might regret it a little bit later. But for now, let us remove that and see where it takes us. Perfect. 1 hour and 29 minutes. All right, so we only have 16 songs, and that is, I mean, that's a little bit more than I thought we were gonna have, but we tried to keep away from the real epic stuff. So, I mean, maybe we could do a video or mixtape of all over 7 minute long Iron Maiden songs or 8 minutes long. That might be interesting, actually. I don't know if I ever did anything like that or made a list like that. So, but for right now, we have 16 tracks. So, track number 1, we have Moonchild. Number 2, we have Rainmaker. Number 3, Bring Your Daughter. Number 4, The Prisoner. Just love the way that just comes in with that intro. I mean, you could honestly maybe even put that as an intro too. I just kind of thought of that. I just love that, that clip from an old movie of he goes like, "I am not a number. I am a free man, motherfucker." He doesn't say motherfucker, but I just always add stupid shit like that to the end once you get into the song there. So, what we got here? Track number 5, "No Prayer for the Dying," kind of breaks it up with that slower mid-tempo deal. Breaks up the first third of the out or of the mixtape, and then we jump into track number 6, "Stranger in a Strange Land." Number 7, back to the slower pocket groove of "Infinite Dreams." Number 8, "Holy Smoke," bringing a little bit of fun and upbeatness back, and then we are coming back here to track number 9, "Revelations." Then track number 10, "Total Eclipse." 11, bringing in "Fear of the Dark." 12, "The Evil That Men Do." Number 13, "Writing on the Wall." Number 14, "Weekend Warrior." Ending off, well, near the end of the album, kind of just giving us that upbeat feel. Number 15 brings us back into more seriousness of Out of the Shadows. And then number 16, none other than "Hallowed Be Thy Name." "Hallowed Be Thy Name." I think that's a really good album closer there. And that's one of those classic songs that just really never gets old, even when I see it live or every time it comes on, I don't really need to skip it. Even Cradle of Filth does an excellent cover of it that I don't skip either when their version comes on. But I think that's what we got here, guys. Let us know, or let me know in the comments as well,
Talk to me.
what you think. I know this is probably a really deep. This is certainly a big, really deep cut mixtape here for Iron Maiden, but that's the way we like it here on the Crash Course Metal Show. We like that unknown and forgotten, certainly for Iron Maiden, the forgotten songs or underrated deep cuts that a lot of people, really look over. And I think we got a good amount of them here. And I think I could see myself playing this over and over again without getting tired of it, because these are some of my favorite Iron Maiden songs of the Bruce Dickinson era anyway. Man, if we added Blaze and Paul to this mixtape, I guarantee you half of it would be them and only the other half would be Bruce. Because don't get me wrong, I love the Bruce era. I grew up, loving the Bruce era the most, and that's really the only stuff I really had of Iron Maiden. But I mean, as time goes on, I just love Blaze a lot, his era, and I also really like Paul's stuff too. Uh, Perfect time and place for those first two albums. But I think I'm happy here with this, and that is going to wrap up this video, guys. So if, like I said, if you guys want to check out the Iron Maiden album ranking, the ranking piece that I did for them, that will be in the description as well. Check that out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, check this one out right here at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called "I Want to Rock Your Body." And then in parentheses it says "to the break of dawn."